Hello, everybody. Dr. Lonnie Stewart here from the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast. Are you a physical therapy student about to start studying for the National Physical Therapy Examination? Or maybe you're a professor, a program director, or clinical instructor who teaches DPT students preparing for the NPTE? Either way, we would recommend checking out our sponsor, NPTE Final Frontier, and the community they've built around preparing for and succeeding on the NPTE. That exam and the preparation that goes along with it can be long, tedious, difficult, and stress inducing, but it doesn't have to be. NPTE Final Frontier has the tactics and resources to help address all of the usual barriers. They even have scholarships to help with NPTE study courses, FSBPT registration fees, and even research opportunities. And if that's not enough, they're even donating to the very first annual HET Podcast Scholarship to be awarded at the end of every year. Go to npteff.com for all of the details and use code HET for 10% off all purchases. Links to both the NPTE Final Frontier and their scholarship options are available in the show notes. And now, let's get ready to learn.
Hello, everybody. Dr. F. Scott Feil here. This is one of 4 parts to a series we're doing for Teach Me Something Tuesday. This week, we're going to start talking about preparation. And the first of the 4-part series is talking about preparation before the semester starts. So course planning. You want to start by defining your course goals. Now, rather than beginning with the content that you're going to cover, really start by defining the goals for student learning. You want to establish what your students want to learn, including, the knowledge and skills that'll come along with it. And then that'll kind of help you determine the appropriate content and teaching methods, as well as the assignments and exams to use, as long as you correlate it with the necessary content that needs to be covered. You have to kind of think about your enrollment and what size your course is, because that's going to also help shape the course, as well as kind of figure out what kind of assignments you can do, what, kind of group work you can do. You really need to have a good grasp on how big each enrollment is. You also want to start the process early. I generally like to look at my courses a month or two in advance, but it can be as much as 6 months if you're that much of a planner. You want to have plenty of time to kind of plan the course in order to make it available on day one, ready to roll with all of your insights so that you can provide them the tools that they need to succeed. You also want to set high but realistic expectations for student learning and achievement. Your students are going to rise to the occasion and they'll probably meet your expectations, but only if you plan and approach the course in a way that's going to provide them with the tools that they need to succeed. And we've got to do that through developing assignments and exams that are going to help students to advance their thinking. For example, some assignments that require them to recall information and define terms are good starter assignments, but then we want to work up to the lengthier assignments and exams that kind of ask them to apply, analyze, synthesize, and evaluate, right? Going back to Bloom's taxonomy stuff. We also want to establish the course policies, right? A lot of that's going to be in your syllabus. It'll kind of keep things in mind as far as like academic integrity, the grading, the attendance, what the expectations are. If the policies are all in the syllabus, they're pretty cut and dry. They're pretty simple to follow. And then you also want to check out the classroom and any multimedia available. So for us, our classrooms kind of move and rotate sometimes. There are certain classrooms that are more suited to certain students' learning styles and to the labs that are being performed, because there's equipment available in those labs. So it's just a different layout for each room, and there's different equipment in each room. So it really helps to know which room you're going to be in and which equipment is going to be available to you. And then as far as the projectors go, the lectern goes, it's a lot of technology these days. So just making sure you have the basics of that and knowing who to contact if something goes wrong, because inevitably it will. And then last but not least, you want to take time to prepare for your first day. So leading up to the course and the start of it, you really want to teach on the first day if you can, rather than just introduce the course and its requirements. That should kind of be done beforehand. This way, when you meet with students, you can kind of give them a sense of what to expect in the course and how to be prepared. the requirements and everything. Again, all that should be in the syllabus. So you really want to try to practice your first class session ahead of time if you can, and kind of rehearse how you're going to use the room and the lab and the space and the multimedia or whatever it may be. Pause to ask questions and then really think about your teaching flow and your style, and how you're going to present the first course, the first class. Once you've got that down, some slight adjustments and some rehearsal for other courses or other classes further down in the semester are appropriate. But all of that preparation and getting things ready should help you and your students succeed with the course and the objectives for the semester. So the next part of this four-part series is going to be how to prepare before each class session or office hours. So we'll go over that next week. Well, I hope that episode was entertaining as much as it was informational and educational. If you enjoyed this episode or any of our past episodes, we ask you to please subscribe to the podcast and leave us a rating and review. And please share out the episodes to those who you feel may be able to benefit from them. We also urge you to follow us on all social media platforms at HET Podcast and let us know what topics or experts you would like to hear from in future episodes. And just as a reminder, none of the information on today's show should be considered medical advice. It's simply infotainment or edutainment to help educate our audience. For medical advice, we always advise you to reach out to your preferred medical professionals, and we'll see you on the next show.